Well, I would say since the last 10 years, there's been a really big change. China's coal consumption really started to grow after about 2001, 2002 when it entered the WTO. Right. Since then, it's about quadrupled since then. And coal power has been a really big part of that. That's led to a lot of air pollution, much more public and government awareness about the effects of air pollution. So in the 11th five-year plan, China is currently in the 13th five-year plan. 11th five-year plan started in 2006. They really started to require much more widespread installation of pollution control technology for SO2. And then in the last 5 years, they did the same for nitrogen dioxide. So that was really trying to address this big air pollution issue. Well, about the same time that it started to try and figure out how to clean up its coal power and industry, it was also starting to really grow the wind industry and then the solar industry. So since about 2006, when it passed the renewable energy law, it's had a really great effect on wind power development and solar power development. China is now the world's largest markets in both of those areas, and these are contributing greatly to increasing the non-fossil energy in China. So that includes the existing really large hydro, which it's continued to grow, as well as nuclear power. But really these wind and solar as the new renewable energy sources, those are starting to push out coal-fired power generation. It's beginning to happen about now, and it's quite different from what energy experts thought before, but really the economy has changed a lot in the last couple years. That started to slow down, and heavy industry hasn't been as important a part of the economy. That means that now there's a more focus on quality growth, sustainable growth, and the coal power plants have actually been running less and less, and now last year was the lowest point since 1978. They're actually running just under 50% capacity. So it doesn't make sense to build new coal power plants when you're running at less than 50% capacity. Well, one is really this new policy aimed at coal power plants to be ultra-low emissions. So really some of the world's tightest emission standards for SO2, NOx, and nitrogen dioxide and dust. And then the other is this new surge of non-fossil growth, wind, solar, other non-fossil growth. How do you best use that, and then how do you start to use that to transition away from just this dominance of coal-fired generation? I think that's really the efforts of the next 5 years. How do you reform the power sector so that greener, cleaner generation becomes the priority? It is providing some subsidies. It's now about, I think, 1 cent renminbi increase in the coal and the power price paid to these coal generators when they're installing the SO2 and nitrogen dioxide equipment and running it at a lower rate. So these do require capital investments that's recouped to some extent by the electricity ratepayers.